Okay, so thank you for sitting down with Merge 104.8.
My pleasure.
We're here to discuss the Oman Golf Tournament, which I believe you are the main person who started this.
Well, not really. I mean, there's three people that really would be the main people who started it.
Okay.
There's our honorary consul in Milan, Francesco Palau,
Okay.
who's also an old childhood friend of mine. And there is Said Badr bin Hamad.
Okay. Foreign.
He's our Minister of Foreign Affairs. And then there is myself. So these are the three key people who started it. And then along the way, there were a lot of other people, sponsors, and other people that worked hard to make it happen.
Okay, so
Yeah, so everybody deserves the credit.
of course. So golf diplomacy and using golf to boost Oman's tourism and investment abroad, mainly in Italy, I believe. This is a relatively new idea. So can you tell me how it came about?
Yeah. So when Francesco, our honorary consul in Milan, was appointed as the honorary consul in Milan, he approached me and he said to me, "Look, I'd like to add some value. You know, I'm honored to be appointed as the honorary consul, but I don't want to sit idly and do nothing. So what should I do?" So I said, well, so then I said to him, "Look, as a country, we're looking to promote Oman as a tourist destination and also as a destination for investment, to cater to the region that we are in, and also beyond, because also Oman is one of the four countries in the Arab world that has a free trade agreement with America, which gives it the advantage of companies that can come from anywhere and set up in Oman and have that advantage, have the advantage of being able to trade with America, biggest market in the world, without any duties.
Okay.
And so that was my brief to him. So he said, "Okay, well, give me a little bit of time and let me see what I can come back with." So he went away, he came back, and he said, he came back with the idea of why don't we use golf as a vehicle to promote Oman's objectives. And I said, great. And it made sense because, golf, usually people who play golf are people of means. Golf is not a cheap game to play, and these clubs where they play, and especially in Europe, they're quite expensive to be part of. So it usually attracts people that are with means and people that are leaders of industry, and people with capital. And so it made sense, and we said, okay. So I then said to him, "Look, why don't you put a proposal together in terms of what it would look like and how much it would cost?" And he did that. He went away and came back. He talked to a specialist company that does that. He came back with a figure and a proposal. I then met with Said Badr and proposed that to him and showed him what it would entail financially and also in terms of what the whole thing would look like. And he was very enthusiastic about it and jumped on it. And he said, "You know what? Let's do it." So then I agreed that I would finance 1/3 of it.
Okay.
And he did his part. And he said, "Okay, the ministry will do their part. We'll finance 1/3 of it." They've actually done a lot more than that, by now. And then we found somebody else.
Okay.
To
finance the last third.
Finance the last third. So what happened was Said Badr then started also involving other ministries like the Ministry of Sports.
Okay.
So His Highness the Yazan, Ma Qassar, he also welcomed the idea and supported it fully, and financially as well. Same, the Ministry of Commerce and Industry was approached, and they came back also, cheering for it, and also they agreed to pitch in there with writing a check.
Okay.
And the same thing with the Ministry of Tourism. So that was great. And then we also approached people from the private sector. In fact, it all happened together. So while Said Badr was lobbying the government sector in getting their participation and their buy-in, I was doing that with some private sector as well.
Okay.
So in addition to us, the Daud group, we OHI jumped on the opportunity to support and something like this. Zubair as well. Zubair Group, and then Oman Air came on board. So Oman Air will be providing the free tickets, for example, for about 20 odd people that will be coming to Oman on the last leg, on the Omani leg of the trophy, which will take place in March 2023.
Okay.
And Kempinski likewise, they came in
accommodation,
and they'll be providing the accommodation for those people who will be coming to Oman in March 2023 for the final leg of its Oman Golf Trophy, OGT. Okay. Yeah.
So can we discuss the format of the Golf Oman Trophy?
Yeah.
The Oman Golf Trophy, I mean.
Yeah. Okay. So the Oman Golf Trophy, the way it's conducted in Italy, it's played on 7 different courses.
Okay.
Across the country, and then there's winners. Obviously, it's 7 different courses on different days, and then there are winners. So we will then select 2 winners from each tournament, from each course, and they will be invited along with their spouses to come to Oman for a final tournament, for the final leg. So the final leg is going to be in Oman in March 2023. So they get to come here along with their spouses if they choose to. And on top of that, there will be selective people from the investment community in Italy that will also be invited to join this group in March. And then they will get to play with some Omani players as well from the Oman Golf Association. And that's still, the finer points are still being finalized. But that's the general idea.
And there will be sideline discussions, obviously, throughout this tournament, huh?
Of course. So golf will be what will bring them here to complete the entire tournament, right, that we start in Italy. But the ultimate aim of their visit here is to showcase Oman, from a tourism point of view and also from the opportunities point of view, the infrastructure, and so on. So we'll be engaging with other parties in Oman, such as, Sezad, Asyad, and so on, to have meetings, and also from other private sector companies as well, to have meetings. So again, the finer points of this leg are being figured out right now and worked on. Yeah, but the ultimate aim is to have them here and tell them what Oman is about and show them what Oman is about. Okay,
and this is a very big collaboration between many different ministries from the government sector and a couple of companies from the private sector.
Yes, private sector, yes.
How has it been like working in a collaboration like this so far?
Look, it's actually been quite smooth.
Okay.
Because everybody going in understood what it entailed. In the beginning, we because when you have so many chefs, sometimes it can be difficult, but that was sorted out very, very early on. And the person I want to give credit to, and without whom this thing would not have been possible, is Aisha Al-Kharousi. She works in Sayyid Badra's office at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. She's been amazing. She's been the linchpin in bringing and coordinating with all these parties that I mentioned, as well as the Italian side of things, because we have marketing company there, we have the event management company there, and we have Francesco Palau, our honorary consul, etc. So basically, she's been the coordinator to make all this happen, and now it's happening. So it's amazing, and she's done an amazing job.
Okay, now that you bring that up, this isn't something I feel that is that common for the two sectors to be working together on this much of a large scale project.
Right.
Would you encourage more private entities to work with the government and vice versa based on your current experience?
Yeah, look, I come from the private sector. So I know private sector is ready and willing to participate with the government. I think what needs to happen more is the government to engage us at the highest level, engage the private sector in discussion, in debate, in idea formation, in coming up with ideas and what's the word I'm looking for? Brainstorming to find solutions to our for betterment and for our economy and otherwise. So yeah, there should be better. Once there is engagement at the highest level, then decisions are made very quickly, is what I found. And there is definitely the willingness to do that from the private sector, and I've seen also from the government sector. Now there seems to be willingness, but somebody needs to lead it each time.
Okay, so you want to be involved at a higher level. The private sector would like to be involved at a higher level in government.
Yeah, because decisions are made at a higher level, right?
Of course.
So we need to speak, decision makers need to speak with decision makers, so decisions can be made and things can move on. Otherwise, it just gets stuck.
Yeah. Okay, I see.
With committees and all that sort of thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Approaching the Italian market.
Yeah.
Was this purely because of your childhood friend and Francesco and everything, or is there another reason that Oman is interested in the Italian market and bringing in Italian investors?
Look, it started with Italy because the person who came up with the idea, Francesco, is Italian.
Okay.
It was purely, but it fits because Italy, though it's a big economy, it's made up of a lot of small businesses and family-owned businesses, as well as big businesses. So they relate to markets like ours. So actually, it's ironic that we have a market we're starting with that has, in many ways, a lot of similarities to the Oman markets. To Oman market. So basically it just started like that. So if it's successful, and we hope it will be, and I'm sure it will be, we're all very confident that it will be, we plan to replicate this in other markets, Germany, France, UK, USA.
So golf diplomacy and specific?
Yes. And so far, by the way, the response, because already the tournament's been, it's already started on the 18th of September. So the feedback and the participation and the enthusiasm and the sort of people that we attracted has been incredible. Has checked every box that we had set out to check.
Okay.
Yeah, and maybe more.
Nice. And why do you think Oman would be an attractive market for foreign investors? So you have a lot of experience in bringing foreign investment into Oman. In your opinion, why do you think Oman is other than the free, or is it because of the free trade agreement?
I think one, because of the free trade agreement, and secondly, we have the infrastructure. We have all these free trade zones, and so on. And thirdly, we are also logistically, and we have a logistic infrastructure here that supports any sort of investment into Oman. And also geographically, we're situated in the middle of two huge markets, the West and the Far East, as well as our own GCC market and the regional MENA markets. So it's just a matter of us getting out there and talking about the positive attributes of Oman as an investment destination. And this is one of those. This is basically doing exactly that. It's just getting out there and putting the word out there to the right people.
That Oman is open for investment. It's
Oman is
tourism.
open for business. Yes.
How does a project like this, how does this tie to Oman Vision 2040 from your perspective?
Very much so, because when they come here and when they meet the government officials and the private sector, a lot of the direction that will come out from there will be based on 2040 vision.
I'll switch gear a bit.
Yeah. So
you're the honorary consul for Canada to Oman.
Yes.
Can you discuss a bit about what that role entails?
So basically, when a country doesn't have an embassy, they look for somebody who could provide them with a presence in the country. And the presence it entails is authentication of documentation, attestation work. If there's any issues with any of the Canadian citizens, we step in to help out. If there's delegations that come in, political or commercial, that come in from Canada, we host them, and then we help them arrange their meetings to carry out their agenda and so on. So it's a mix of things. Yeah. What you did with Italy. Yeah. It's quite a creative idea, what you all put together with Italy. Since you have some sort of close relationship with Canada, would there be any plans to do something like that with Canada as well? Of course, yes. So, so far so good. Cross our fingers, alhamdulillah. So the idea is to replicate this in many other countries.
Okay.
So then after this, we'll have a lot of learnings because this is the first one.
Okay.
And then we'll have to sit down, consolidate what we've learned, and then decide on next steps, as in next market, and maybe make it something a bit more planned out. So maybe do 3 of these a year instead of 1 a year. So we'll just have to see how it goes, and we have to take the learnings and so we can do this thing again and again.
Okay, and different markets, you mean outside of tourism investment, like other areas? Is that what you mean?
No, for different markets, as in
maybe not golf.
As in the golf trophy.
Okay.
But not only in Italy now. We will also do it, for example, Germany, Singapore. It could be, even, for example, Dubai. There's a lot of investors in Dubai. Expose them to Oman. So it could be near and far.
Okay,
so it could be Canada, for example, could be the US, and so on.
Okay, very nice.
Yeah.
I believe that's all the questions I have.
Okay. Well, I just want to take the opportunity to thank all the sponsors, the government sector, the ones that I've mentioned, and the private sector. And without this, it takes 2 hands to clap. And this was a classic case of demonstrating that, where the private sector worked closely with the government sector, and the government sector worked closely with the private sector, and we made something like this happen. So it's great. I'm very happy about that as well. And I just want to thank all the sponsors for participating and having faith.
Okay. Thank you very much for sitting down with us.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Pleasure.